What you are looking at on the screen is the letter that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu sent or wrote to Donald Trump of America. Of course, the IPOB leader is maintaining communication with the American leader. And in this letter, of course, Tinubu is afraid. All the Nigerian politicians, all the people causing major issues and problems in Nigeria are afraid because the attention of America, the attention of Donald Trump is on Nigeria. The attention of the American security forces, every one of them, is right now focusing on what is going on in Nigeria. So it's just a few minutes ago that Aloy Ejimako made this letter public that Nnamdi Kanu had just written to Donald Trump. Let's look at it together. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu detained at State Security Services SSS headquarters, Abuja, Nigeria. Reply, Aloy Ejimako of Council, Aloy Ejimako Legal Services and all the rest. You can see it. To His Excellency Donald J. Trump, 47th President of the United States of America, the White House. I'm sure when Tinubu sees this kind of letter, he will not sleep again. When Omotosho sees this letter, he will not sleep again. Because everybody is afraid of Trump. His Excellency Donald J. Trump, 47th President of the United States of America, the White House, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, New York, Washington, D.C., 2500. Delivered through Embassy of the United States, 1075 Diplomatic Drive, Central District Area, Abuja, Nigeria. Now let's look at the content of the letter. This is what we give Tinubu. Tinubu's government will have headache after reading this letter. I extend warm greetings to you in the name of the Judeo-Christian faith and values we both hold dear. Pay attention, oh. As a practicing Jew and a believer in the Judeo-Christian heritage that shaped Western civilization, I was honored to attend your campaign event in Des Moines, Iowa, in January 2020. Your bold declaration on October 31st, 2025, that the United States is prepared to act militarily and cut aid if Nigeria fails to protect its Christian population has ignited hope in the hearts of millions who have been abandoned by the world. You have seen the truth. Christians in Nigeria face an existential threat. I write to you now to reveal that this genocide is not confined to the north. It has metastasized into the Igbo heartland, where Judeo-Christians are being systematically exterminated under the guise of counter-terror. You know, Nnamdi Kanu says the truth, the way it is. Whether Tinubu want to hear it or not, he has just explained it the way it is. That the menace, insecurity menace in Nigeria is not just happening in the north, but it's happening both in the southeast. I am Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, a peaceful, non-violent civil rights movement rooted in Judeo-Christian principles. Since 2015, I have survived 4 documented assassination attempts by the Nigerian state. On 20 June 2021, I was forcibly abducted from Kenya in an extraordinary rendition operation, an act that violated Kenyan and international law, as condemned by a Kenyan High Court ruling petition number E28 of 2021. Imagine what Tinubu and his advisors, they will be running around now. Now that Nnamdi Kanu is speaking with Donald Trump, they will not be happy. In fact, I'm sure they will do everything they can to block this letter. I was illegally transported to Nigeria and thrown into solitary detention in Abuja without a valid subsisting charge, and for the sole crime of defending my people's right to life, faith, and self-determination under international law. Don't not forget, because one of the things the enemies of Nnamdi Kanu wants to do is to remove people's mind from the main thing people Kanu was fighting for. He was fighting for the rights to life, that his people should be allowed to be alive. No eliminating them when they go to farm and all the rest. The right to faith, You should not impose your own religion on his people, on Nnamdi Kanu's people. And self-determination, you cannot force them to be one Nigeria. If they want to be one Nigeria, treat them as one. If you don't want to treat them as one, allow them to be on their own, to determine their own fate. On 13th October 2022, the Court of Appeal in Nigeria, CAABJCR C25 2022, discharged and acquitted me of all charges, ruling that my rendition was illegal, unconstitutional, let's move on, and unconstitutional, and a gross violation of international law. The court ordered my immediate and unconditional release, yet I remain in solitary detention over 1,596 days since my abduction. The Nigerian government defied its own judiciary, refusing to release me as ordered. I was never released, so there was no rearrest, only continued unlawful imprisonment in blatant violation of constitutionally protected double jeopardy safeguards under Section 36, Subsection 9 of the 1999 Constitution and Article 7, Subsection 2 of the African Charter. The United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, opinion number 2022, declared my continued imprisonment. The United Nations declared the way they are holding Nnamdi Kanu. Look at the way they described it. They declared it as arbitrary, unlawful, and politically motivated. This is not justice. This is state capture of the rule of law to silence a Judeo-Christian voice. The hidden genocide against Judeo-Christian in eastern Nigeria. You know, Nnamdi Kanu keep repressed. That is why people love him. Even when he's in chains, even when Tinubu's government is doing everything to break his spirit, he is still speaking for the Christians, for his people that are being maimed, that are going through a lot in the southeast. The same extremist-backed forces you have condemned in the north, Boko Haram, ISWAP, and Fulani militias, operate the state complicity in the southeast, operate with state complicity in the southeast and Igbo-speaking territories of Benue, Kogi, and Delta. But here, the Nigerian military itself is the primary perpetrator, shielded by a false narrative that blames victims. Nnamdi Kanu now went on to list the crime. These atrocities are irrefutably documented. Number 1, Nkpo Biafra Heroes Day Massacre, 30th May 2016. Amnesty International covered it, and Amnesty International said at least 150 peaceful Christian worshippers killed, bodies dumped in rivers. United Nations Special Rapporteur Agnes Callamard. Security forces opened fire on demonstrators at St. Edmund Catholic Church, at least 60 and over 70 injured. Victims shot in the back while praying. Nnamdi Kanu documented, you never forget. Inter-Society 2025 filed a report. The death toll exceeded 900, with mass graves discovered near Onitsha. This was not a clash, it was a massacre of worshippers commemorating their fallen. Let's move on. National High School Aba Massacre, 9th February 2016. Amnesty International said 22 were eliminated on site, 13 bodies exhumed from a burrow pit near Aba Port Harcourt Road. UN Special Rapporteur said soldiers from the 144 Battalion fired indiscriminately into a crowd of young Christian students praying and singing hymns. No evidence of armed resistance. Children were executed for singing Sweet Jesus. Operation Python Dance 2, 12th to 14th September 2017. Amnesty International report said 150 eliminated in raid in Nnamdi Kanu's home in Afaruku. No soldier died. UN Callamard report asymmetric use of lethal force and forced disappearance, part of a continuum of state violence. Nnamdi Kanu said, I survived the third assassination attempt that day. 28 unarmed civilians did not. Obibo massacre, October 20th. October 20th, and Nnamdi Kanu is giving details, facts, dates. Amnesty International said at least 13 civilians eliminated, including children, mass burials used as a weapon. A Christian town was punished for protesting police brutality. And the fifth case, Nnamdi Kanu highlighted is Port Harcourt, Iguacha, Trump, Solidarity Rally, 20th January 2017, IPOB eyewitnesses account and local report. Hundreds of Judeo-Christian supporters were gunned down by soldiers under Islamist sympathetic command. They came to celebrate your inauguration. They met with bullets. They were met with bullets. The architect of these crimes, Left General Tukur Yusuf Buratai, former Chief of Army Staff. In 2021, President Buhari appointed him ambassador to Benin, granting him diplomatic amnesty to evade ICC prosecution. This is state-sponsored impunity on a genocidal scale. Please, somebody come under the comment and say, Donald Trump, please don't allow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to perish. Donald Trump, please intervene in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case immediately. Give an order for Nnamdi Kanu to be released. Donald Trump, give an order for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Weaponization of insecurity to demonize IPOB. Since my illegal rendition, Nigeria has declared IPOB, this kind of organization, despite zero evidence of violence, orchestrated unknown government attacks using state-backed militias, then blamed on IPOB. Eliminated over 2,000 Igbo youths in counter-terrorism operations, Inter-Society 2025 to 2020, 2021 to 2025. This is Rwanda's playbook. Create chaos, blame the victim, justify extermination. A call to you, President Trump. This is Nnamdi Kanu speaking boldly. I respectfully urge you to, number one, launch a US-led independent inquiry into state-sponsored massacres of Judeo-Christians in eastern Nigeria with full access to mass graves, military logs, and survivor testimonies. Convene emergency congressional hearing on the Igbo Christian genocide, featuring the 13 October 2022 Court of Appeal judgment discharging me disobeyed by the government, UN Kalaman report on Aba and Nkpo. Nigeria defense of its own constitution imposed target Magnitsky Act sanctions on Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, ambassador to Benin. Current DSS Director General Yusuf Bichi, Southeast military commanders implicated in Obibu, support an international supervised referendum on self-determination for the Igbo people, the only peaceful path to ending this cycle of violence, as affirmed by the African Charter on Human Rights and People's Rights. We must move on. And Nnamdi Kanu now conclusion. In conclusion, Mr. President, history will judge us by what we do when genocide knocks. You have the power to stop a second Rwanda in Africa. One tweet, one sanction, one inquiry could save millions. I remain steadfast in peace, faith, and non-violence, even from a prison cell. Hey, somebody say, Donald Trump, please don't allow Nnamdi Kanu to perish in detention. IPOB rejects every form of violence. We seek only justice, truth, and freedom. May the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who delivered Israel from Pharaoh, grant you wisdom and courage to deliver his people once again, with deepest respect and urgent hope. Kanu now sign. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, leader, indigenous people of Biafra, prisoner of conscience, DSS custody, Abuja, discharged by Court of Appeal, 13th October 2022, release order disobeyed, 4-time survivor of state assassination attempt. This is the way it is. This is a developing matter. Kanu has written this letter, and this letter right now was made public by Eloy Jimako. By few hours time, it should be on the table of Donald Trump. We here in Noble Media, we are following up on this matter and will be bringing you update that is happening. Please don't forget to say, Donald Trump, please don't allow Nnamdi Kanu to die in the hand of Tinubu. Donald Trump, don't allow Nnamdi Kanu to die in the hand of Tinubu. Like this video, click on join to become a full member of our channel, share this video, and most importantly, there's another important video on the screen. Click on it and watch now.